I want to walk you through something that I see come up all the time with entrepreneurs, especially the ones who are doing all of the right things and still not seeing the results that they want to have. And it's that they're not actually open to receiving. So I know if you're listening to this, you're probably thinking, well, of course I want to receive. Of course I want clients. Of course I want money. But energetically, what I see is that there is often a gap. So welcome back to the Live Your Yes Life podcast. My name is Lisa Limata. I will be your host for today. Twice a month, my business partner, Kayla Jetta, and I are here bringing you the best that we have to offer with this podcast. And I just want to say, if you're new here, welcome back. So Kayla and I are a mother-daughter duo. It is the best gift to get to work with my daughter. And we have been the owners of Rise Leadership Circle for the past 7 years, into our 8th year now. So we've been working with entrepreneurs in this capacity for quite a while. We have created a successful business structure and we teach it to our clients as well. We love to say that we do the inner work that creates the outer results. And we're here to help you live your version of your yes life. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is I want to preface this by saying most of the entrepreneurs I know are really incredible givers. They have built successful careers. They are supporting their families. In some cases, they're even in that sandwich generation where they're also supporting parents who are starting to age and they're taking on some responsibilities that way. They're managing their homes, right? There are so many hats that we wear as entrepreneurs. And the thing is, what most of us are really good at doing is giving and giving and giving and giving. And when it comes to building a business, we're often trying to receive from whatever energy is left. We're so used to being the ones who give, it can almost feel foreign to receive. So receiving feels unfamiliar and it feels uncomfortable or even like it's wrong to receive. And what I find a lot of times when I'm talking with entrepreneurs is they didn't feel the same way in their job. So a lot of entrepreneurs come to us after they've already had a successful career. Maybe they've been working in corporate and they really begin to do their soul work. There's a calling on their heart. They decide to step out and create this entrepreneurship journey. And it feels different in this way. And I think the biggest reason for that is because now it's not just, you working for a company, but you are your business. You're the heartbeat of your business. And so receiving in this way feels really personal. And I see it as a really big block that comes up for the people I work with. And it's one of the biggest things that we spend time working through, that once it's unlocked, oh my gosh, success is inevitable. And so let's look at what receiving actually is. So the thing about receiving is it brings up so much. I know that on the surface, it doesn't seem like it, but a lot of what comes up for people is, well, am I worthy? Am I worthy to charge these prices? Am I worthy as this new entrepreneur starting over in this capacity to show up and be the expert? If this actually works and I do receive, can I hold it? Can I, really step into this role that I've taken on? And of course, all of us believe that we can on some level, or we wouldn't have started this business. But I see something that happens as we start to make offers, as we start to create sales, is if there's any block around receiving, this is when you'll feel it. So the thing about receiving it is it's not like just a desire for more, but truly from an energetic standpoint, it is having the capacity to be able to hold more, to hold greater levels of responsibility, to hold more clients, to hold more money. And this really comes down to what your nervous system is capable of doing, because logically, of course we want more. Of course we want success. Of course we want all of the things. But for our nervous system, for our bodies, very often it doesn't feel safe holding more money. It doesn't feel safe becoming more visible. It doesn't feel safe holding more responsibility or expectation. And what happens is there's an old pattern, something that happened somewhere in your past where it wasn't safe to receive. And your body is still holding on to that old pattern. So even though logically you get it, it takes time to get your nervous system to be on board. And if it doesn't feel safe, if you don't feel safe in your body to receive, you will subconsciously slow it down. And this is an important topic because so often when I am first working with people, they have no idea what the block is. It's confusing, right? It's like, I just feel like there's this invisible wall in front of me. So let's get into it a little bit more. I want to talk about what it means and what it doesn't mean. Okay. So the truth about receiving is that it is not just being open to what you want, but it does mean being open to receiving everything. Okay. So we have to be open to receiving success. That's one thing. But to be open to success, we also have to be open to receiving failure. We also have to be open to receiving disappointment on the way. We have to be willing to grow on the journey. We have to be open to receiving large amounts of money and no money. We have to be willing to receive like our soulmate clients and also maybe some of the wrong clients on the way. So the thing is, it's the whole scope, right? And this is the subconscious receiving block that most people don't even realize is in the way. And the thing about it is that if you don't receive, you don't have to fail. So it can also be sneaky and it can be a way that people kind of stay hidden. So I want to walk you through a receiving audit today. We're going to workshop this out together in real time. And instead of just listening, I really invite you to answer these questions for yourself honestly. If you're not multitasking, of course, you could write these down, maybe take a few notes of what's coming up, or just listen as we go through and pay attention to what comes up for you. And I would love for you to discover for yourself, like which one of these areas, I'm going to give you 5 areas, which one of the 5 do you feel like is your biggest leak right now? And notice what starts to make sense when you see this. Okay, so let's get into the receiving audit. The first place we're going to look is visibility. Okay, so number 1, visibility. So being open to being visible doesn't mean just posting or just showing up on social media, but it means being open to being seen in your truth, to really willing to be vulnerable, to let people see you authentically as you, to be willing to be misunderstood and to be willing to be judged. And what I find is that if we're unwilling to be judged by someone else, we're unwilling to be visible because we simply can't control other people's reactions. And so when you're really grounded in what you are here to say, when you're really willing to get it wrong and for people to misunderstand you, that is when you're really open to being visible. So let's talk about what it looks like the opposite of that, right? If you're closed off from visibility, it might look like you're showing up, but you're holding back. Like you're showing up, you're sharing what feels safe instead of what you really want to say and what actually feels true for you. Or it might look like you're trying to get it right. And it feels more like you are trying to perform for, I don't know, whatever social media platform you might be on, instead of just being you, just saying the thing. And that can be felt. And so if you're wondering why, like you're showing up everywhere and it feels like you're still not being seen, this is just a place to look really. And without judgment, with curiosity, like, okay, is anything here for me coming up? So here's your audit question. Where are you still holding back your truth? Even when you're showing up? Where are you still holding back your truth, even when you're showing up? All right, let's look at area number 2, money. So people think they're open. They think they're really open to receiving money. But here's where I see that they may not be, okay? So if you're blocking money, it could look simply like you're undercharging, just charging less than what you actually desire to receive or deserve to receive for the work that you're doing. Another thing that I see is that when people really believe or give away their power to their circumstances, that is one of the biggest money blocks. Okay. So people will say things to me like, well, I can't receive this amount of money right now because I have kids and I'm very busy, or because I don't have the time, or I am still working this other job. Fill in the blank. It is anything outside of us that we're giving our power to. And by the way, I'm not saying your circumstances aren't real. I know that they are. I know that life can be lifey and things can come up. But what we need to notice is how much power am I placing in my circumstances? Am I believing the circumstances are more powerful than I am? Because that belief is such an important key. So when we're open to receiving money, it means we're open to change. It means we're open for life to look a little bit different. It means we're open to new possibilities and to do things differently. It's kind of like we're stepping outside of the box of the way we thought things should be or the way we thought the world should work. And it can feel really foreign. It can actually feel really scary. But if we're open to that kind of change, we are open to receive. Also being open to really being willing to hold a bigger vision for your life. Being willing to believe what's possible. And this might sound silly, like, of course I want a bigger vision and of course I'm open to all of these things. But sometimes when I talk to people, they tell me they're really afraid to expand their dreams because what if it doesn't work out? They don't want to be disappointed. And so they keep the vision small. They limit their goals, if you will. They limit their dreams so that they don't have to be disappointed. And, I understand that. But what it does is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and has you maybe doing just a little bit more than what you did last year instead of stepping into exponential possibility. So money responds to our belief, it responds to our expectation, and it responds to the identity that we hold about ourselves. So here's your audit question for today. Where are you still using your circumstances as a reason you can't have what you want? All right, let's get into number 3, which is support. This one is big, and I see people get stopped by this one without realizing it all the time. There is a belief of, I should be able to do this myself. That sort of lone wolfing. And by the way, like raising my hand here, this has been a really big one for me for a long time. I've had to do so much work on this block. And so we hold this belief of like, okay, I can't count on other people, or it's just easier if I do it myself. And this really keeps us blocked from receiving when we're trying to do everything alone. And so when you allow support, what happens is you go further faster. I have seen my clients hire a VA for like an hour, maybe even 5 hours a month, and their income doubles. Just that little bit of support because of what it opens them up to. So receiving support is one of those things that can exponentially expand your capacity. So notice, where are you still trying to do this alone when you actually don't have to? All right, number 4 is clients. Now, this one is energetic, okay? So being available for clients means you have a real desire to serve, of course, and you're willing to be paid. But when you have blocks around this, things that come up are like, I feel guilty for charging people to help them do something that they really need. Or you sort of doubting people's ability to be willing to pay you for the work that you're doing. That's one I see a lot. Another one that I see around clients is that people are so busy, like their calendars are jammed full. They are speaking the words, I'm so busy, I don't have time. And our words become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if your calendar is completely jammed full, it's going to be really hard for you to be open to receiving a lot of new clients coming in. No space equals no clients. So here's one of the things you can do. Create some space on your calendar right now. You could just open up some blocks. This is times that I work with my new clients that are coming in. Visually put them in your calendar. And then what you do is if there isn't a client in there yet, you want to use that time to do income generating, client generating activities, reaching out, building relationships. And that tells the universe that you are open to receive clients. You have space to actually receive the clients coming in. Okay, now here's the audit question for you. If a client said yes today, do you actually have space for them? All right, moving in to number 5. This one is leadership. Okay, this is where everything comes together, and I'm talking about self-leadership. So when you're self-led, this looks like being in the energy of taking responsibility for everything around yourself, for your mindset, for your actions, for your results. So you're taking responsibility instead of putting the responsibility in your circumstances. You're taking it back and really coming from this mindset, this energetic mindset of, what is the solution? What can I create? So being willing to try and fail and then get back up is a way that we can lead ourselves. Like being willing to experience anything is how we really step into our leadership. When we get back up, when we have our own back, when we keep going, we build so much self-trust. And that tells the universe, okay, listen, I'm doing the thing. I'm taking action. I am open to receive. But if you're leaking power in this area, it often looks like waiting for permission, waiting for, someone else to believe in you, to tell you that you can do it, or blaming, again, time, money, circumstances. And so when we step into being a self-led leader, it's the identity of being someone who is intentionally creating the life that you want to have. And I know there's a lot more I could say about this one. I could do a whole episode because there's a lot to unpack here, right? But it is really starting to see ourselves in a way that's like, I'm not the victim. I am not the villain in my story. I truly am the creator, and I am here to create my yes life and create what I want to have. And coming from that mindset will open you up to so many possibilities and so many solutions. So here's your audit question. Where are you not fully leading yourself right now? Not yet. Where are you not fully leading yourself right now? All right, take a breath. Just know that if you found a leak in any one of these areas, or if it's in all of these areas, it's all good. We're all on this path to learn and to grow. And the good news is once you can see it, you can have it go differently. You can open yourself up to receiving. So I want you to consider okay, where do I have, where do I feel like the biggest leak is for me right now? Just to identify that for you. To notice where maybe you've accidentally been closed off from receiving, even if you didn't realize it. Just seeing this, you guys, will open up so much. And this is why you can be doing everything right and still not receiving. So if you've ever had that feeling why? I'm taking all the action. I'm doing all these things. This is a place to look. And I want to tell you guys, when this really hit me in such a big way, I've been married, my husband and I have been together now, I think this is our 13th year. Is it going to be 14? I don't know. I think it's 13. We've been married for 3. But we, I think we moved in our 3rd year together. I moved from another state, and I decided to go back to school. So I left my job, left my career, and I went back to school. And I remember him offering to really support me during that time. He was excited for me. He was so supportive, and he was like, just let me help you. What do you got? You have a bill I can pay. What do you need? And I was very unused to having that level of support, and it made me uncomfortable. And I didn't feel ready to receive it from him yet. And I was like, oh, no, I got this. I mean, whether we were talking about money or whether we were talking about taking out the garbage, I was determined to do it all myself. And I remember him saying to me one day, I really love that you're so independent and I honor that in you, but I also kind of hate it because I really want to be your partner. I really want to partner with you, and I want us to support each other. And I had such an aha moment in that moment of oh, I could actually receive support. I don't actually have to do this alone. And now I get to learn what it means to, instead of being independent, to be interdependent in a healthy relationship. And so that was a huge shift for me. And honestly, it wasn't an overnight switch. I still am probably on some levels working on it. If you asked him, he'd probably say so. But to be honest, it changed my life. And we've grown together in so many amazing ways since that time. So I'm curious for you. I love when you guys reply from these episodes. I'd love to know which one of these felt the most uncomfortable for you, and what is it showing you about where you have accidentally been closed off to receiving? I truly, truly would love to hear. And before you go, I do want to bring this full circle with you, and I want to share a little bit about a way that we can support you if you're open to receiving support that we have coming up here. By the time this episode airs, it's going to be right around the corner and happening probably within the next week from this air date. So we talked a lot, about the truth that receiving is not just wanting more. It's about capacity. And if your nervous system does not feel safe holding more money or more visibility or more clients, more responsibility, this is where we subconsciously slow it down, even when you are doing all of the right things, right? So you don't have to do this alone. And receiving more obviously is a deeper level shift. It's not just about doing more. In fact, that can even take us away from receiving more. And so I want to invite you into something brand new that Kayla and I have just created. We're super excited to share with you. It's a 7-day sales lab, and it's going to be happening May 4th through the 10th. It's called Cash Clients. This is for the entrepreneur who, is successful. A lot of people, this is great for you if maybe you're still working your corporate job or your previous job and you're shifting into entrepreneurship. A lot of people come to us and like, I really just want to replace my income to start. I really want to have that stability. Or maybe you've been an entrepreneur for a few years and you feel like you're tired of riding the ebbs and flows of sales, right? Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. And you want to create that stability, that consistent income. This is what we're going to do inside of this challenge. So we're going to teach you the energetics and the strategy of attracting and receiving clients and cash instead of chasing. Because it's exhausting to feel like we're hustling, like we're chasing, like we're trying to go out there and like get clients, right? So I want to share with you a little bit about what it includes. So on day 1, this is kind of the main event. We're going to kick off everything with a 3-hour Zoom session. It's titled The Service of Sales. So we're going to reframe sales for you and help you really connect to the level of service that it truly is. We're going to bust the myths about sleazy sales, about you having to be salesy in order to get clients, and instead help you build that foundation for sustainable, steady sales. And then for the next 6 days together, Kayla and I are going to do a series of lives. This is happening inside of our coaching club. There's a private portal inside. We're going to give you 6 days of mini trainings that are going to help you deepen this training. We're going to teach you the divine profit pillars, which is how we've built our business and what we teach our clients to do. We're going to teach you how to really heal your relationship to money in sales. We're going to look at how to close a sale without ever feeling pushy. We're going to teach you our 1 hour a day sales method. I'm so excited to share this with you so you can create consistency and still live your life. And this is especially great if you're, still working another job and you want to have that consistency. You're also going to get an opportunity for some bonus hot seat coaching, meaning Kayla and I will coach you directly. There's a bonus workshop you can jump into on Friday, and you're going to get lifetime access to the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club, which means you get to have Kayla and I as your coaches for $97 for life in your back pocket, as well as future challenges that we do. But here's the thing, you will walk away with a system with concrete tools and the same resources that we use with our clients. And I want to be super honest with you that, you're not going to replace your entire income in 7 days. I'm not telling you that at the end of 7 days, you're going to make $1 million, because we all know that it takes time to build a system like this and to get it up and running. But you will walk away with knowing exactly what to implement, when to implement, with understanding both the energetics and the strategy of the sales that make that consistency. So if this episode hit you, if you can feel that you are ready to open to the places that you've been closed, especially around receiving clients and money, come and join us. We'd love to welcome you inside. Cash Clients is going to run May 4th through the 10th. It's $97 right now. You're going to save $500 when you register today. So I'm going to drop the registration link below. Please go and grab that link and join us. And I cannot wait to take this journey. If it's right for you, I will look forward to seeing you there as always.